You've been asking for more peace, more clarity, more provision, more stability, more than what you're currently experiencing. And on the surface, it sounds right. It sounds like growth. It sounds like faith. But if you're honest, there's a quiet contradiction happening within you. Because while one part of you is asking for more, another part of you doesn't believe you can hold it. You pray for overflow, but you think in limitation. You ask for expansion, but you feel undeserving. You speak about abundance, but internally you're bracing for lack. And that conflict, it doesn't just sit there. It shapes what you allow. It shapes what you accept. It shapes what you unconsciously push away. Because here's the truth you've been avoiding. You don't just receive based on what you ask for. You receive based on what you're prepared to hold. You've been consistent in your prayers. You've been clear in your desires. You've been vocal about wanting growth, stability, peace, expansion. But beneath that, there's hesitation, not in what you say, but in what you believe. Because when you imagine actually receiving the opportunity, the elevation, the abundance, something tightens within you, a subtle discomfort, a quiet question. Can I really sustain this? Will this last? What if I lose it? And instead of leaning into the possibility, you pull back, not consciously, but internally. And that internal resistance, it matters more than you think. This didn't start today. Somewhere along your life, you learned to minimize expectations, prepare for disappointment, not get too hopeful. Because at some point, hope led to pain, expectation led to letdown. So you adapted. You started thinking smaller, not because that's your capacity, but because that felt safer. And now, even when more is available to you, your mind still operates from limitation. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because you might not say it out loud. But internally, there are moments where you feel, I don't deserve this yet. I haven't done enough. Other people are more qualified. And that feeling, it creates distance, not from opportunity itself, but from your ability to accept it fully. Because when something good comes your way, you don't settle into it. You question it. You doubt it. You wait for it to disappear. Imagine this clearly. You're asking for more, but your capacity to hold it hasn't expanded. Your mindset still expects loss, inconsistency, instability. So when something stable shows up, it feels unfamiliar. And what's unfamiliar often feels unsafe. So you overthink it, question it, sometimes even sabotage it, not because you want to lose it, but because you don't know how to hold it. This is subtle but powerful. Before you even receive something fully, you're already thinking about losing it. What if it doesn't last? What if it's temporary? What if this isn't real? So instead of experiencing it fully, you guard yourself, you hold back, you stay slightly detached. And that emotional distance prevents full alignment. You tell yourself, I'm just being humble. But humility is not self-rejection. Humility is not denying what you're capable of holding. You've learned to shrink. Your expectations, your desires, your vision, because you think wanting more is wrong. But there's a difference between ego and expansion. And right now, you've been limiting yourself in the name of staying safe. This is deeper than doubt. It's a pattern. You've experienced moments where things felt right, and then they didn't last. Opportunities came, then disappeared. People showed up, then changed. Peace came, then got disrupted. So now, even when something good enters your life, you don't relax into it. You monitor it. You question it. You prepare for its ending before it even begins. And that state of anticipation, it keeps you from fully receiving because you're not present. You're bracing. You say you want more, but deep down you also believe more equals more responsibility. More equals more expectations. More equals more pressure. So while you're asking for expansion, another part of you is resisting it because you're not just thinking about what you gain, you're thinking about what it will demand from you. And if you don't believe you can sustain that, you unconsciously avoid stepping into it. You're no longer who you used to be, but you're still thinking like that version, the version that struggled more, had less access, felt more limited. So even when your reality begins to shift, your identity hasn't caught up. And when your identity doesn't match your opportunity, you shrink the opportunity to fit the identity, instead of expanding yourself to meet it. This is not about logic. It's about internal safety. If your nervous system is used to instability, then stability feels unfamiliar. And what's unfamiliar feels unsafe. So even if something is good, you feel uneasy, not because it's wrong, but because it's different from what you're used to. And until safety shifts internally, you will keep rejecting externally what you say you want. Comparison quietly distorts your ability to receive. You look at others and think, they're more ready. They deserve it more. They're ahead. So when something aligns for you, you minimize it, you question it, you hesitate to step fully into it, because you've placed yourself below others in your own mind. And from that position, you won't fully accept what's meant for you. This is the dangerous one. You've been holding back for so long that it feels normal. You don't even notice when you dim your expectations, reduce your vision, avoid stepping fully into opportunities. It feels like balance. It feels like control, but it's actually limitation. And because it feels familiar, you don't challenge it. You've convinced yourself, once I do more, then I'll be ready. Once I fix everything, then I'll deserve it. So you delay receiving. You delay stepping into more, because you think there's a version of you that must exist first. But that version doesn't come before the opportunity. It develops within it. And by waiting to feel worthy enough, you stay outside of what could actually grow you. At the core of all this, you're trying not to get hurt again, so you limit your expectations. You stay cautious. You don't fully open yourself to what's possible, because part of you believes, if I don't expect too much, I won't be disappointed. But in doing that, you don't just avoid disappointment, you limit expansion. Right now, your system treats expansion like danger. More visibility, you feel exposed. More opportunity, you feel pressure. More attention, you feel watched. So instead of stepping forward cleanly, you hesitate, overthink, and dilute your own movement. But when your capacity expands, something subtle but powerful shifts. You stop reading growth as something that could harm you. You begin to recognize it as something that is responding to you. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start understanding, this is happening because I'm ready at a deeper level than I thought. That shift alone changes how you move. You become less defensive, less suspicious, less resistant. And when you stop resisting expansion, you don't have to chase it. It starts meeting you. Before expansion, opportunities feel heavy. You overanalyze them. You question your readiness. You look for reasons why it might go wrong. And that pressure, it causes you to either delay action, sabotage momentum, or shrink your involvement. But when your capacity grows, you don't panic when something big enters your life. You don't rush to prove yourself. You don't freeze trying to be perfect. You hold it calmly, steadily, without turning it into something overwhelming. Because internally, you've made space for it. And that's the difference most people don't understand. It's not about getting bigger opportunities. It's about becoming stable enough to sustain them. There's a part of you that has learned to associate struggle with meaning. You've felt, if it's hard, it must be valuable. If I'm struggling, I must be growing. So when things start to flow, you question it. You look for hidden problems. You wait for disruption, because ease feels suspicious. But when your capacity expands, you stop needing things to be difficult to feel legitimate. You allow things to work. You allow progress to feel smooth. You allow alignment to exist without constantly testing it. And that alone opens the door to overflow. Because struggle is not a requirement for growth. It was just your previous environment, not in a loud performative way, but in a quiet, grounded certainty. Before expansion, your thoughts sound like, what if I mess this up? What if I can't maintain this? After expansion, that internal dialogue shifts to, I'll handle it. I'll figure it out. I don't need to be perfect to move. That's self-trust. And self-trust removes hesitation, because now you're not waiting for guarantees. You're moving with the understanding that even if things shift, you won't collapse. And that stability, that's what allows more to stay in your life. This is where things get uncomfortable, because you'll start noticing the things you used to say you wanted are the same things you used to avoid. Visibility, responsibility, leadership, growth. Not because you didn't want them, but because you didn't feel ready to carry them. But once your capacity expands, you don't run from those things anymore. You step into them without needing to shrink yourself to feel safe. Before you were waiting for validation, for confirmation, for someone to say you're ready now. So you stayed in a holding pattern, delaying movement, doubting your instincts. But expansion removes that dependency. You stop asking, is this okay for me to step into? And start deciding, I'm stepping into it. That shift is authority. And without it, you'll always hesitate at the edge of growth. This is one of your biggest problems. You start moving. Then you pause. You gain clarity. Then you second-guess it. You feel aligned. Then you question it. So your progress becomes inconsistent. Not because you lack direction, but because you keep interrupting yourself. But when your capacity expands, you stop doing that. You let momentum build. You stay in motion long enough for results to compound. And that's where overflow begins. Not in bursts, but in sustained alignment. Here's the truth you've been avoiding. Overflow was never something you needed to go find. It was something you needed to become able to hold. Because even if everything you've asked for showed up today, your current capacity would determine how much of it stays. So expansion is not optional, it's required. Every morning, before your phone, before noise, before distraction, there's a version of you that decides, will I expand today or will I repeat yesterday? And most days, without realizing it, you repeat. Same thoughts, same hesitations, same internal limits. Then you wonder why nothing shifts. So today we interrupt that pattern, not with hype, not with pressure, with awareness and deliberate alignment. Right now, mentally place yourself in stillness. No distractions, no rushing, just you and your awareness. And ask yourself honestly, where am I holding back in my own life? Not the obvious answers. Go deeper. Where are you? Downplaying your potential, delaying action you already know you need to take, shrinking your expectations to feel safe. Don't justify it. Just see it, because you cannot expand what you refuse to acknowledge. They don't sound dramatic. They sound reasonable. I just need more time. I'm not fully ready yet. Let me wait until things are clearer. But those aren't always truths. Sometimes they are delays dressed as logic. And every time you believe them, you stay exactly where you are. So now ask, what have I been telling myself that is keeping me small? And don't soften the answer. You've been confusing these two. Fear says, wait, don't move. It might go wrong. Intuition says, move, even if it's unclear. Fear contracts you. Intuition stretches you. And if you're honest, you've been listening to fear more often than you admit. Not because you're weak, but because fear sounds safer. But safer is not where your expansion is. Not a half decision. Not I'll try. A decision. Decide, I am no longer going to limit what I can receive. I am no longer going to shrink when things begin to expand. I am no longer going to delay movement because I don't feel perfect. And don't rush past this, because your life doesn't shift when you understand something. It shifts when you decide differently. The moment you decide to expand, resistance will show up. Doubt, overthinking, second-guessing, and your instinct will be to pull back. This time, don't. Stay with the discomfort, because that discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're stepping beyond your previous limits. Now let us pray. God, I'm not coming to you pretending I don't already see where I've been holding myself back. I see it now. The hesitation, the doubt, the ways I shrink when I feel something bigger trying to enter my life. And today, I'm not asking you for more until I become honest about what I've been resisting. Because I realize now, it's not that I've been blocked. It's that I've been limiting what I allow myself to hold. So today, shift me. Not just in what I receive, but in who I am able to be. Expand my capacity, expand my mindset, expand the way I see myself. So I stop rejecting what is meant for me. God, remove the quiet fear that makes me hesitate, the fear that tells me to wait when I need to move, the fear that disguises itself as logic and keeps me in the same place. Give me clarity to recognize when I am shrinking. Give me awareness to catch myself in those moments and the strength to choose differently. I don't want to keep living beneath what's available to me. I don't want to keep asking for things and then pulling back when they begin to arrive. Prepare me internally so I can sustain externally. Stabilize me so when opportunities come, I don't panic. I don't overthink. I don't sabotage them. Let me hold what I once thought was too much for me. Let me stand in spaces I once felt unworthy of, without shrinking, without doubting, without questioning my place. God, break the belief that I have to earn everything through struggle. Break the mindset that tells me things must be difficult to be real. Teach me how to receive without resistance. Teach me how to move without fear controlling me. Teach me how to trust myself, even when I don't have all the answers. And when I feel that urge to step back, to delay, to hesitate, to shrink, interrupt it. Remind me of who I am becoming, not who I used to be, not who I've outgrown, but who I am stepping into. God, I release the version of me that stays small to feel safe. I release the patterns that keep me in limitation. I release the belief that I cannot handle more. And I step into expansion, fully. Not halfway, not cautiously, but with trust, with clarity, with alignment. I am ready to receive, not just in small portions, but in overflow. And this time, I will not block it. Amen.